Hello, my name is FreeHappyDolphin and welcome to Verdict, where I value new games and rank them on the leaderboard. Originally, these evaluations came together with 100-minute dive episodes, where I share 100 minutes of gameplay from streams on Twitch. However, from now on, Verdict will be a separate series. So let's evaluate Galactic Glitch. First category, engagement. I really liked physics-based game mechanics approach. You can easily fall in love with throwing rocks or swinging them from elastic space bubble boundaries. Overall, dividing game into small areas with enemies and levels with different races of enemies keeps the game fresh and engaging for each bubble. But since it's a single player, there could be more chatting from game characters, and besides that, overall story seems a bit weak. A bit of a short-term fun also can be lost due to game's repetitions. Pretty soon, going through the same levels with maybe a bit different gun and few small tech tree upgrades starts feeling like a grind with each time, and you start losing interest in it even in a short term. If game designer really wants to keep that repetition idea, maybe making levels a bit shorter or switching things up a bit more can help to keep grinding at a lower cost for your interest. After taking a half star for each thing, we are left with 4 out of 5. Replayability and complexity is where I see the main problems of the game. Don't get me wrong, the game has many weapons and powers to choose from, good technology tree and many levels with different classes of enemies and multiple races. The problem is that you have to go through the same levels to discover those things, and even it can be viewed as a great way to figure out different build strengths and weaknesses, it quickly starts feeling like work but not a game. Some levels can be quite challenging, but strategic depth is not super complex. Adjusting a bit to your weapons features is possible, but picking powers and protocols usually are not part of a big strategic plan. You just pick the best one overall. Also, having any points or ranking system to compare yourself to other players for me is always nice to have. So because replayability is lacking, I start to notice that this feature is missing as well. All things considered, 3.5 of 5 seems a fair score. This is one of a few games in which I truly appreciate audio and visuals. Even graphics are not the best ones you can see these days. It's not minimalistic, and as well it looks good. Game sounds great too. Sometimes, however, I was forced to lower suddenly louder playing music. Because of that, and still having some room to make graphics look even better, I will take half a star for each, making it 4 out of 5. Handling and user interface can be improved a lot by just a few small changes. On one hand, it's clear and simple. There's not many places to do mistakes, like for example in previously reviewed Balatro. But some corrections are needed. First of all, at the time of playing, I could not find a clear way to distinguish between different saves, start a game without tutorial, and so on. So menu can be improved. Second, while having your tech tree and weapon selection menus in the base, in the space bubbles as well is really thematic idea. Maybe those bubbles could be a bit smaller, or your ship have increased speed, for example, in your base, because otherwise you spend a lot of time by just actually switching menus and your options for the new game. And the biggest improvement to make is to have exact numbers of power bonuses, percentages of your ship being improved from starting one, clearly display remaining HP by numbers and how much recharge will give you before using it. So these and similar changes like this are needed because the game aims to be more than a simple shooter, and it has to provide clear measures to make strategic decisions. 3.5 out of 5. This game was truly unique for me. Mostly what I see from mechanics and concepts I see for the first time. The only drawback comes with the weaker story. I don't find much of emotional impact some games may have, and that's more important than usual because it's a single player game. Everything else is great, so 4.5 out of 5. I think that there are no additional negative factors, but I did not mention in other categories already, so here will be just a 0 points for negative factors. This sums up to 3.9 stars and takes the third spot from Cataclysma. For full leaderboard, check me on my social media accounts and see you on the next episode.